everybody. He says, you have shown contempt by offering defiled sacrifices on my altar. Then you ask, how have we defiled the sacrifices? You defiled them by saying the altar of the Lord deserves no respect. When you bring me something defiled, you're saying my altar deserves absolutely no respect. Verse 8, this is it, everybody. You need this. When you give blind animals as sacrifices, isn't that wrong? And isn't it wrong to offer animals that are crippled and diseased? Try giving gifts like that to your governor and see how pleased he is, says the Lord of heaven's armies. And so what we do, we trying to fool God. And we give him something that's beat up. We give him something that's coming apart. We give him something that's broken. And we say, here, God, honor that. We give God that something that's being torn up and that's twisted and messed up. And we say, God, this is what you deserve. This is my best. He said, don't bring me something defiled. Don't bring me something all messed up. You wouldn't give this to anybody. You wouldn't give this to your governor. You wouldn't give this to anybody you love. But instead, we find the worst of the bunch. It's mangled and it's tore up and it's diseased. And we present that before the Lord and we say, Father, that's what you deserve. What is this for real? This is 1%. This is 2%. This is 3%. This is everything until you get to the 10. We give him something maimed. We give him something defiled. We give him not the first fruits, but half a first fruit. And so what happens is, for the rest of this, we don't have the protection that we should have, so it releases the enemy to dig into our lives and start to slice us. And he starts to cut us. And all of a sudden, we look up and we have all of these bruises. We're damaged. We've suffered because he's been able to go through our lives and do whatever he wants to do. And the tricky part is, on the surface, we look good. On the surface, we look absolutely fine. I mean, we know how to come to church and we know how to shout and everything looks amazing. But on the inside, we are torn apart. On the inside, after he's done whatever he wanted to do, we're coming to pieces. But then we come back to church and we put it all together and we show everyone our good side. Blessed and highly favored of the Lord. Everything is going well. To God be the glory. We know how to cut a step. We know all the key phrases. We know exactly how to make people not even know what's really going on. But when we get in the car, it all begins to come apart. And now we're open because we have no protection and we are exposed and we don't want anyone to know my life is coming apart. Pieces of me everywhere. But then when our friends come back around, we get it together for the moment. We get it together and everybody thinks we're okay because we cannot admit that we've been robbing God, and we cannot admit that we have not been honoring God, and we cannot admit that we haven't been sexually pure and mentally pure and gotten delivered from all of our vices, and we cannot admit that we have been, because we've been lying and we've been cheating and we've been drinking and we've been smoking, and we don't want anyone to know any of those things. And so we let everyone know that everything is fine and God has got us on his mind, and we're blessing God and we're honoring him. But then one of these days, we all fall apart. And everybody's trying to figure out what happened. And we start to look just like what we gave him. We start to look just like what we think good is. Because when you say, God, this is my best, he says, well, keep it for you. God, I consider this a sacrifice that is worthy of you. He says, oh, really? Let me show you what that really looks like when it plays out in your life. And so all he's asking us to do, he says, can I have one? Out of this, you can't get full from this. You can't get full from all of this. This is going to make that much of a difference in your life. Pastor, giving the first fruits is going to be hard for me. It's supposed to be hard for you. It's a sacrifice. It's supposed to be inconvenient. It's supposed to hurt. It hurting you blesses the rest of your year.